Welcome back, everyone, to more Go Nippon. Anyway, now then, are you two ready? Yeah! Wallets? Check. Change of clothes? Check. Okay, in that case, one night, 2-day stay in Kyoto. Let's go! Yeah! Now, as for our itinerary from Tokyo to Kyoto, we'll get on the Shinkansen from here to Tokyo Station. The Shinkansen. What is it? Are you that fired up to be riding the Shinkansen? Of course I am. It's the Shinkansen. Yeah, that. I'm not excited for a train. They're not getting me that hype game. You gotta give me more than that. Not only is it the fastest train in the world, it's no lie to say it's the safest, most technologically advanced train out there. Wow, is that so? It sure is. I mean, I've been really hoping to ride it at least once. Wow, I'm so looking forward to this. I'm sure you are, but first we need to buy our tickets to get on. Sure, let's do that. First, there are several Shinkansen lines when you get out of Tokyo. The one that goes to Kyoto is called the Tokaido Shinkansen. Tokaido, yeah, okay, gotcha. That. Yes, there are also 3 kinds of Tokaido Shinkansen. Those are the Nozomi, the Hikari, and the Kadama. That's right, the Kadama stops at every station, but the Hikari and the Nozomi only stop at important ones. They're special express trains in every sense of the word. Between the two, Hikari takes shorter stops at each station than the Nozomi. There's about 500 km between Tokyo and Kyoto, and the Nozomi makes the trip in about 2 hours and 20 minutes. 2 hours and 20 minutes, that's even faster than I thought. By the way, all the trains cost the same amount, so if you're going to a major station like Kyoto or Osaka, it's better to take the Nozomi. Oh, I see. Now about the ticket. To ride the Shinkansen, you'll need both a boarding pass and a special express ticket. Then you'll choose between free seating or reserved seating, a boarding pass and an express ticket, then free seating or reserved seating. A one-way free seating ticket to Kyoto is about 13,000 yen, but a round-trip ticket is a little cheaper each way, so it's best to go with a round trip for your boarding pass whenever possible. Round trip, got it. I'll remember that. Now to buy in Japanese JR stations, there are ticket counters called Midori no Madoguchi, with vending machines in the larger stations. You can also purchase tickets at travel agencies counters in some stations. If you go to the travel agency, you can sometimes buy them in a bundle with hotel reservations at a discount price. Wow! Alright, Oni-chan, when we go to Kyoto, make sure our seats are... I got it, on the right side, right? Yep, you always know what I'm thinking, Oni-chan. Seats on the right side? Why? Because? Nope, I'm not telling you right now. You'll see soon enough. What? Now you got me curious. Tell me. No way. Shh. Then Makoto. No way, Oni-chan. Don't tell him. Yes, I know. Huh? Now first we'll buy the tickets, then we'll get our bento and board the train. We're buying bento before we get on the train? Of course, long ago they had restaurant cars on the Shinkansen itself. But as travel times got faster and faster, they stopped doing it because there are less need to eat a slow meal on the train. So sort of in place of that, they started selling special bento in larger stations known as ekiben that usually contain the region's specialty food. Eating an ekiben while chatting with friends and watching the scenery pass by is part of the fun of the train ride. Yeah, in other words, it's a way to make the trip itself special. That's exactly it. It's not just a mode of transformation, but it's part of a journey. This is getting really exciting. So we just bought our bento and got through the gate. Now we wait for the Shinkansen to arrive. I'm not saying that multiple times. You're as excited as a child, but... it's here! Whoa, that's the Shinkansen. Yes, it's the newest model, the N700. It's a real thing. It's like the perfectly streamlined form. It's like the smart train. It's amazing. You can tell it's fast just by looking at it. Well, it's worth noting that since the trains first started running, the trip to Kyoto has been reduced by nearly an hour. An hour? That's completely amazing when you put it that way. I wonder how hard they must have worked to shrink the time by an hour. Come on, it's fine for you to be excited, but don't space out on the train or we'll leave without us. I guess it'll leave without us. Yeah, dots. Lots of dots. So, have you calmed down a little? Huh? You're insane. I've been calm the whole time. Please, you're insane is my line. You've been spazzing out since we got on the train. Now we've been on the train for 40 minutes and you've been spazzing out the whole time. I am not. Don't say you're not spazzing. Come on, let him. There's nothing wrong with him enjoying himself, right? Yeah, I mean, this is totally amazing. These seats are so comfortable, you can recline them so far, and even though we're racing through at 300 km an hour, I don't feel the slightest vibration. Each seat even has its own power outlet, and you can even connect to the internet. I can't believe how advanced Japan is with stuff like this. See, you're completely spazzing out right now. Nah. Yeah, now, enough with the flirting, you two. We're not flirting. Really, from my point of view, it looks exactly like flirting. That's why I'm telling you we're not. It's going to sound like you're protesting too much. Come on, Udi-chan, you're always quick to say such strange things. Sorry, anyway, what is it? Is it about time for what? I remember earlier when I asked for seats on the right side of the train. You're going to learn why very soon. Ah, it's in sight, you two, look. There we go. That's Japan's greatest mountain, Mount Fuji. Yeah, Mount Fuji, that snow-crusted peak, that gentle slope, so peaceful and solemn, but with such presence. How can I describe it? Just call it beautiful feels almost trite. It's 3,776 meters tall, the tallest active volcano in Japan. Whoa, active volcano? Mount Fuji is an active volcano? Yes, it is. The last eruption was about 300 years ago, and until 15 years ago they thought it might have gone dormant. But when they learned that it was still active internally, they reclassified it as an active volcano again. Wow, it's an active volcano. They say that the last time it erupted, the ash reached all the way to Tokyo. Wow, so far. When we look at the earlier data, we see that Mount Fuji's eruptions have no set period, but the longest dormant period was a little under 300 years. And in Udi-chan, the last eruption was 300 years ago. That means it could, erupt at any time, yes. There are various theories as to why it's called Mount Fuji. One alternative meaning of the word Fuji is unique, while another is undying. Some theorize that the name stems from the unique mountain or undying mountain. An undying mountain? Yeah, so the explanation posits that volcano there. Anyway, as an active volcano, the ancients thought of it as a living mountain. A living mountain? Say, can you climb to the top of Mount Fuji? Yes, you can, although you can only get it halfway by car, and then past that you'll need to climb on foot. Generally speaking, lodges on the mountainside only open in the summer around July or August, so if you want to climb it, you'll need to go during that period. Mount Fuji, Japan's greatest mountain. Someday I'd like to climb it for myself. And time keeps going. Thank you for riding with us today. Kyoto, please be sure to have your belongings with you when you disembark. We're here! This is Japan's old capital, Kyoto. Kyoto was Japan's capital for over 1,000 years until it was changed over to Tokyo in 1867. Wow, for over 1,000 years. Kyoto became the capital in the year 17... God damn, I cannot read today. 794. Before that, Japan's government was based in the Nara Prefecture, and it moved with each change of the head of state. But in 794, they built a new city on this land. It was known as Heian-kyo, and its layout was based on the contemporary capital of China. That city remained as Japan's capital for over 1,000 years afterward. Such a long time, huh? But, what's wrong? What year did the Edo period start? In 1603. Wasn't Tokyo the center of the government during the Edo period? In that case, Kyoto should have stopped being the capital that year. You make a good point. It's true that the center of Japanese government was moved to Tokyo during the Edo period, but while the shogun in Edo had the real power, the formal head of government was not the shogun himself, but the emperor here in Kyoto. So even during the Edo period, the Japan government was technically centered in Kyoto. And even when it eventually moved to Edo, Kyoto and Osaka next door continued to grow as if they were still the capital, right? That's right. Oh, I see. So you could say Kyoto is a city that maintains the traditions, forms, and the culture of Japan's good old days. I see. I guess even I think of traditional Japanese culture when I think of Kyoto. But still. But you'd rather be seeing the town for yourself instead of listening to our lectures, right? How did you know that? Because we can read your face like a book, right, Akira? Yeah, especially when you're thinking of perverted things. Hey, no way! Response like that. Wait a minute, you mean you do think of those things? No, that was just an automatic response, that's all. What, are you saying we're lacking in womanly charms? What are you talking about? Do you want me to think of those things or not? That's, oh, you idiot. Of course I don't want you to think about it, you perv. I told you I'm not. Come on, Aki-chan. Let's put this strange quarrel to rest. Considering the earlier issue, it's no wonder you're more interested in the modern town. Kyoto is still a major metropolis after all, so it's still gradually changing as new people and shops come in. I see now that you mention it, I can see that that is true. Well, as long as we're here, we really should look around. So let's cut the chit-chat, it's time for a quick tour. Yes it is. That's what I've been waiting for. So, where should we start? Let me see, I think that's the best place. That's the best place, don't you? That? Why can't I just use that? First, the entry fee. This is Kiyomizu-dera? Yeah, the most famous temple in Kyoto. Yep, that word. They say that word was completed before Kyoto became the capital in the year 778. Before Kyoto was capital, there are temples that old. That word is known for how the main hall juts out of the side of the mountain. The main hall has been rebuilt over and over due to the fires, but the last rebuild was in 1633, so it's still quite old. It was still built around 400 years ago then. It's standard for the stone buildings of America and Europe to survive that long, but for the eastern wooden structures to last so long shows the care that goes into them. I know, do you know the Japanese phrase jump from the stage at yeah, that? Meaning to plunge headfirst into something. That stage is this, at this place. Yeah, that thing. It refers to this building. Yes, they say that if you screw up your courage and jump from here, your wish will come true. They say that in the old days, many men really would make the jump to show their determination. From here? But it's really, really far down. Yeah, they say that some people really died trying it. Honestly, men are such idiots. I can't help but agree with you there. As long as we're here, let's go to the Ottawa, yeah, waterfall below. The Ottawa waterfall? Yeah, it's a small waterfall consisting of 3 narrow streams. The waterfall has existed for over 1,000 years. Back then, people said water would confer wealth or long life. They loved it as the fountain of youth. The fountain of youth? Okay, let's check it out. Whoa, there really are 3 trails of water here. Each stream confers its own blessing from right to left. They confer academic success, health, and love respectively. Academics, health, and love. So then starting from the right, I take the water from each and drink it. Okay, let's start with the water of academics. Water of health. Then the water of love. Wow, it's delicious. It really could be the fountain of youth. Then I think about it, you guys only drank from the health and love springs and none of them the academics. How come? Well, right. Yes. What, you both look so serious. The truth is, it's said that anyone greedy enough to drink from all 3 rivers will be denied their blessing. What? Wait, is that true? Yes, I'm sorry to say. No way, why didn't you tell me that earlier? Because that would have made it so much less funny. Sorry about that. So I didn't even earn a blessing today. I could have used the blessings in love at least. So, now I think about it, Makoto and Akira both drank from the love spring. So, yeah. Dots, lots of dots. First, the entry fee there. Now, our next Kyoto sightseeing spot is here. Whoa, this is Kinkaku-ji. Kinkaku. The kin in Kinkaku is a reference to the grand golden color of the temple. The name is actually a nickname. What's its real name? I know it, it's Rikyoyan-jin. Yeah, that's right, you really know your stuff, Akira. Hold your applause until the end. I still know lots more about the Rikyoyan-ji. Then, why don't you tell us about it? Leave it to me. The fact is, there was almost a temple here in the 13th century, but the noble who commissioned it was put to death for conspiring against the emperor, and it fell into ruin. Then, around the end of the 14th century, the shogun Yoshimitsu fixed it up and built a new temple, which he called the Rikyoyan-jin. Yeah. Wow, that's how it really happened? Yes, she's exactly right. Wait a minute, why are you asking Oni-chan for confirmation? No reason, just wanted to be sure. Let me tell you, this isn't all I know. I also know that the temple was completed, the grounds around it were larger, and that it completely burned down once. Burned down? The temple was it in a war? What? Sorry, it burned down just 60 years ago. It was arson. Arson? You mean someone set it on fire? Yep, in 1950, by a young monk still in training. A monk committed arson? That's right, the temple was already a famous national treasure at that time, so it caused quite a stir. I see, that makes sense. Then a world-famous author named Mishima Yukio wrote a novel about it. The name of that novel is, of course, Kinkaku-ji. Wow, Akira, you really know a lot about Kinkaku-ji. I told you, I knew a lot about it. So have you read the novel? No. Oh dear. Mishima Yukio's Kinkaku-ji has been translated in many other languages, so you should read it if you get a chance. Sure, I will. He probably wrote it after visiting the place for himself, so it'll probably be more interesting now that if I read it before. I'll be sure to look around for it when I get home. I think I might try to read it when I get home too. I see. I think you would get a lot out of it, Akira. The Kinkaku-ji, The walls are stuck with gold leaf, so it has gold as the name suggests. I've heard that ancient Europe referred to Japan as Jipang, the land of gold. But looking at this, I can see why Marco Polo would have felt that way. Where are we now? What do you think of Kyoto so far? Let's see, at first I wasn't really seeing the town's history and culture at all. But the more we walk around, the more I feel the traditional atmosphere seeping in all over. That's right, Kyoto has a lot of temples and shrines. You can walk from temple to temple and shrine to shrine. Just walking around can give you a deep impression of the town. Yeah, that's really true. But how do I say this? It's more than that. There's, like, even among the smallest shops in town, so many of them sell traditional craft goods. So that also gives an impression of the town that values its history. That's true. While Kyoto continues to expand, the city as a whole does protect its traditions, and I think that's what makes it amazing. Preserving its history while taking in new. But now I think about it, I think Tokyo has a similar sort of atmosphere. With Kyoto, it just feels like a whole lot sharper. When I think about it that way, Kyoto really is like a representation of Japan itself. That's it. There's one thing that surprised me in coming to Kyoto. Surprised you? What is it? You know, the language. Language? Oh, I see, because it's not like Tokyo Japanese. That's right, it's a dialect, right? The accent and the words people use here is nothing like the Japanese I know. That's true. People in Kyoto and nearby Osaka and Kobe speak what's called Kensaben. Kensaben? Yeah, specifically Kobe and Osaka and Kyoto all have their own dialects, but the general term for it is Kensaiben. Kensaiben, I see. It's hard for even native Japanese to imitate Kensaiben. It's a unique way of speaking. I see, but how should I say it feels like it has nuances that I don't hear in Japanese of Tokyo? That's true, it's fast-paced and kind of funny. That's right, when you listen to it, listen in on an exchange, it almost sounds like they might burst out laughing. You remember what I said before that Kyoto was the capital of Japan long ago? While that was going on, the city of Osaka was also developing next door. So Osaka developed as a merchant city. They based their lives around the merchant culture. So I think their language developed around the interaction between the shop owner and customer. Making the customer feel more comfortable is so important in the business world. You mean they make them laugh so that they relax and feel more like buying things. It's just more speculation, but I wonder if it might not be true. The real Kensai has done a lot to develop comedians and comedy culture, so you might hear Kensaiben on TV too. Now that I think about it, it sounds really cute when girls speak it too. We don't speak Kensaiben. Does that mean you don't think we're cute? That's not it. That's not what I was trying to say at all. So you're saying you wish we both spoke it? That's right. I mean, that's exactly the same complaint. Even without speaking Kensaiben, I think we make a good comedy theme, don't you? Sure. Anyway, let's go one last place today. It's very close to where we are now. What kind of temple is it? Oh my, we're not going to a temple, really? Then where are we? Ta-da! This is Kyoto's premier entertainment district, Gion. Wow, but the buildings still have an older, refined feeling to them. The town of Gion is a gateway to the Yasaka Shrine. It's basically a town that sprang up along the road to the shrine. The name Gion from the fact that the Yasaka Shrine was once known as the Gion Shrine. I see, so there's something on this street? Like what? Well, it's certainly a very beautiful street and has a refined atmosphere, but isn't there like a famous building or... Yeah, there's nothing like that here, but in its place. Now look, walking towards us. Walking? There's a woman walking towards us, tiny red lips on a face made up in white, in such a beautiful kimono. Is that a high-class geisha? Sort of, but geisha is only for Tokyo. In Kyoto, they are called gyoko. Gyoko? Yes, the young apprentice gyoko is known as a maiko. She looks young, so she's probably a maiko. Ah, she just turned to us and bowed. She's so cute. Hioni-chan, I hear back in the day maiko were girls around 10 years old. Is that true? That's what they say. 10 years old, they started that young? Yeah, because Maiko and Geico would play instruments at banquets and sing and dance. They were like flowers used to add life to a party, and men of high standing and rank would come to them. But in order to keep them from offending anyone, they received strict instructions and discipline and manners from a very young age. That's the kind of system it was. So for all its beauty, their world was a harsh one too. Yes, but these days it seems like as problematic to make children work so hard. Nowadays you can begin Maiko training until you finish school. I saw on TV before that there are fewer and fewer women who want to become Maiko these days. I guess that's true of all countries. Jobs that were standard long ago are gradually declining. But then the TV said that more people want to do it nowadays compared to before, but they say that the training is so strict that many people just up and quit. Just because you want it doesn't mean you'll succeed. But Maiko and Geico are a part of the amazing culture. There must be more people who want to carry it on. That's it, as long as we're here, why don't we call a Geico-san tonight? And unfortunately, that's not possible, huh? Why not? God damn it, I didn't mean to hit the thingy. Yeah, my thing, there we go. The girls will refuse first-time customers. Most people have to be referred by an existing client. Oh, I see. There are some exceptions lately. I hear that some events where you can hire Geico for a brief period of time, but it probably takes a lot of money, right? Oh, I see. I guess that's true. Yeah, I understand. It's just an idea. When you say it like that, I can tell you're really upset about it. I told you I was joking. I don't think you were. Anyway, as long as we're here, we should stop by the Yusaku Shrine and then go back to the hotel. Okay. Okay, I guess we went back to the hotel. Shoo, we visited the Yusaku Shrine. That was so beautiful. Our hotel might be more humble than the halls where Geico performed, but it was still a nice place. The food here in Kyoto tastes completely different from the food in Tokyo as well. Kyoto is a nice place, not at all inferior to Tokyo. Just one day doesn't seem like enough to experience it all, but tomorrow I go back to Tokyo, and in 3 days' time I go home. I gotta make the most in Japan while I got my time left. Go Nippon! My first trip to Japan, day 5. So yeah, that'll wrap up. It's another beautiful day, but that is going to wrap up this episode of First Play. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed. God, am I sick of reading this.